Boys and girls, buffaloes and bunnies. It's the weather report for July 15th, 2022. And I am 26,123 days old. And John is 21,382.
Yeah, and and I thought I was muted, but I guess I have my camera off. I turned my camera on instead of unmuting. So Scott just commented on the thumbnail. I didn't see it. What is it?
A very happy looking cow.
It's a Maddox.
It's a very happy looking bull, I guess.
No, that's a Maddox. That's a Maddox.
Oh, very happy looking ox.
Yeah, it's a Maddox today. Anyway. Yeah.
So who's got the background noise? It ain't me, is it?
You might be hearing my fan because I've been having.
No, it was like I was hearing another transmission. I was hearing voices.
It's mute. So
yeah.
Well.
Yeah, it's like it's double speak coming back at me, but maybe it's something wrong with my mic. I don't know.
Yeah, I can hear it too in the background, and I'm not sure what it is.
I hear it as well.
Okay, let me mute. Tell me if it goes away when I mute.
Hello. Testing. I still hear a second feed.
Yeah, I heard it. Something's out there. I'm not sure what it is.
Well, midnight. Wait a minute. Mute midnight. He's not mute midnight. See what happens.
Oh.
Yeah, now it's gone.
Yeah.
It's midnight. Midnight, what are you doing?
At least he's not eating something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so James Webb. So when do we get a new dose of pictures from James Webb?
Yeah, they should put them out every other day at least. I'm starting to get impatient.
I think it was every 2 weeks or every week. I can't remember. They said
better be every week. Damn it! Oh, I'm going to be pissed. What do we got here? Ooh, I know what we got. We got Maddox. So I kind of wanted to play this whole thing, so didn't want to interrupt it. I just want the whole effect. But anyway.
You don't. So no foreskin or anything like that.
Yeah, I'd rather not. So like this box of rocks is what I call it when Maddox has a live stream at night, an after show. He gets this incredible box of rocks. It's Bible Research Tools. This guy that was, for a while, he broadcasted from the ICU. I guess he had some heart problems. And then Stephen Tibbetts, who makes Bible Research Tools look like a rocket scientist. And then there's, I'm not sure who James is. I think he has a regular name. But anyway, he has these people on there, and they're just amazing. So then in the middle of it, this Jay Bundy comes on. He's the guy in the lower left, Most High Apostle, Pocket Locker, 86, PhD ×2. And he's a researcher in biology, but I didn't know exactly what his work was, but he kind of explains it here. And so I just wanted to play his whole segment where he comes in and talks to the group.
So he comes in and then he takes Maddox to task.
Takes them all to task. So,
okay.
Anyway, but
hey there, Jeff.
We'll play it. Unfortunately, I think.
So what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Girls in the chat.
It's only about he's in the chat all the time.
Yeah, he's going to start up a stream here in a second.
Yeah, because he's trying to steal my subscribers. What he's doing?
Your minions.
Yeah, just watch him.
Speaking of the minions,
He's and he's got a wrench, so I can't get rid of him. I don't know how to get rid of him. So
get rid of who?
Gur streams. I've been trying to get rid of him.
I don't even see him yet.
No, he's there.
He's there.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah, it must be because it must be behind on StreamYards from YouTube.
Well, he's got a super wrench, so you can't get rid of him.
There's a spatchcock here.
There's a
That's
spatchcock.
right.
It's a Jefferson.
What's going on, Jefferson?
I thought I saw Jefferson.
Hello.
Hey.
So you have any live streams planned for the weekend?
Of course he does.
I may not. I actually have like a little bit of a medical procedure happening first thing in the morning. And I've been really busy most of this week. So that's why I've been kind of AWOL.
Oh my goodness.
Now let me ask you something. After that medical procedure, we're not going to have to call you Susan or anything, are we?
No.
Nothing that dramatic.
what the fuck?
Or
No, Jefferson. What is the female name of Jefferson?
when I hear medical procedure, I always think open heart surgery. So or when I hear I have a little medical procedure, open heart surgery.
Well, I think either colonoscopy or possibly a. It's been so long since I've had one, I can't remember the name of it.
Let's imagine.
You morbid bastards. It's just imaging.
No, let's imagine all the really gross things that could be happening to Jefferson. Yeah.
They're removing one of my legs.
I don't know. I don't know whether it was a. Wow, Jesus Christ!
Yes, no. See, the reason is Jefferson's having one of his legs removed because he wants to prove to an apologist that God does not heal people.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there you go. You can always say, "I've got this leg here."
You're committed.
I can't stop thinking. Every time there's a mention of losing a leg, I can't stop thinking of a certain person.
And then I think of anisectomies. Because that's a real bitch. Yeah,
Anisectomies. What?
Oh fuck! I hate those. Oh, those are the worst. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, you told me yesterday that you don't even shit. So.
No, I don't. I absorb all my food. I'm 100% efficient. So, yeah.
Is that like one of the goals of evolution according to creationists?
Yeah. The perfect engineering process.
Yeah, if evolution is real, then we should be shitting less and less because.
Well, if you were God, wouldn't you have left that fucking part out of your special in my image race? Right? like when you think about
God would have made us. God would have made us like the Coneheads in the Coneheads movie. They didn't have ass cracks.
But when you think of in God's image, do you imagine God sitting on the toilet?
I mean, that is a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question because
we're eating the wrong stuff.
He must.
Or if it's because of the fall, does that mean like before the fall we just shit gold bricks or whatever? Literally.
We shit gold bricks.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think I would have to hesitate, or I would have to fall on the side of saying God does shit.
He does shit.
You just have to look at the Bible to.
And then occasionally he doesn't pay attention, and then shit happens. Right?
Where did people go before those toilets too?
Yeah, but you shit gold bricks until the fall, and then there was a mutation, like probably an ERV or something that caused you to not shit gold bricks anymore. And now you shit. So yeah, I get it.
Well, nerdy just came up with
wait a
the
minute.
answer to that question.
So where did people go before we had toilets? Does anybody know?
Before they had toilets, they're just like any other animal outdoors.
Where they made a big hole and they just put it in there.
They either made a hole, or it probably wasn't even at that advanced to start. It just they probably just when they had to shit, they just shit where they were standing, and there it was.
There were some societies that did it, but then it overflowed after years of use.
Yep.
And other things happened in their water supply and stuff.
Well, somehow I don't think we're talking philosophy anymore.
I can tell you a horrible hunting story, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay, I had one of those
play
too.
The video.
Let's not tell those. Yeah.
We're going to play the video.
Hey, Jefferson, what can you say to class up this live stream?
Class her up.
Nothing at this point. I'm still just thinking about like the history of human pooping.
Oh, I've never seen a book about that. Maybe
no. Well, no.
Are there still societies that don't have toilets?
There's a child book called Everything Poops or something like that.
Everybody poops.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But not God.
Not
apparently not.
No, definitely.
The book doesn't say that.
No, I would argue the theology of that. Yeah.
Before the fall,
my video?
We didn't have navels and we didn't have anuses.
Right.
Yeah. After that, though,
Yeah.
Everything was good. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to play this and see what happens. I think it's about 5 minutes, so we might have to endure a little bit.
You were live, and I figured I'd hop in and say hello.
Can you hear?
What you been up to? Not much, man. Just working, streaming, the usual. What have you guys been chatting about tonight?
No, a variety of things. There was a
mostly good news.
Yeah, there was initially it was the after show for a evolution debate.
Oh, you guys were beating down on evolution again?
No, not too much tonight. It was more of a analysis of the debate itself. I mean,
oh, I got you. Actually,
I'm sorry, I stopped the video, didn't I? An analysis of the analysis. That's what they call this.
Well, but so here's what I don't get is like he didn't even answer the dude's question because he's talking about what they're doing now, and he asked about the debate itself.
Yeah, I think they mentioned Lenski earlier. So anyway, we're going to get into Lenski.
It's really helpful to share that with your audience and kind of break it down. And
I mean, to be honest, there wasn't much new stuff from either part going off. At least I was going off about earlier, and just I know he doesn't actually understand what points he makes, but
with the hyperbolic rhetoric about scientific evidence, that's kind of not the thing. It's the kind of thing to stay away from.
I don't say
what evidence? We love science. We just don't believe evolution is science.
I mean, that's weird, right? That's kind of like that
no,
puts
it's not
you out
weird.
on the fringe of science, though, of scientific perspectives. Yeah,
it's science. It's consensus, but it's not. Consensus is politics, not science.
But how? So then, what is science then?
Science is things you can measure, observe, measure, test, repeat the testing.
I'm sorry.
Evolution can't do any of
can you please
You
stop
can actually
it?
do all of
I
that.
know you didn't want to stop it, but you already stopped it once.
I know.
Okay, so he said that the only application of the concept of consensus is, what did he say, for politics and things like.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so fucking wrong. It's unbelievable. I mean, consensus can be applied to a myriad of different situations. I don't understand what this guy's saying, but all right.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, if my car breaks, I go to the YouTube and look around for the consensus as to what happened. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, and even in science, okay, they don't call it that, but when something gets peer review and it holds up, that's a consensus.
But okay, now Bible Research Tools, this old dude, I don't know if he's an engineer or what the fuck he did in his life, but you know how dumb old people are, right?
Whoa, yeah.
And on the lower left here, we got a guy with one or two. I don't know if he really has 2 PhDs, but he's got one, and he actually works in evolutionary biology.
Are you talking about Jay Bundy?
Yeah, and we'll just see how it goes here. So
He usually has PhD ×2 on his caption there, you know, his name plate or whatever you want to call it. So it makes me think he has 2 PhDs, but I don't know for sure.
I wouldn't doubt it. The man knows what he's talking about. Anyway, he has a channel, and I've linked his channel. In fact, he has 2 channels, Pocket Locker 86 and Jay Bundy. And he also has a Twitch stream, and he links all that stuff. And they go through evolution simulations and AI stuff. And he's doing a little more and more of that. But anyway, he's worth watching. He's also a little different. He's different. Occasionally he sings. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Baloney. Show us.
I mean, if you have time, you want to tune into my stream tomorrow. I'll be coding evolution experiments, and you can watch me.
Just give us one
Right,
example. How can
right,
we just-
but Jay, are you doing evolutionary algorithm programming?
You kind of look at it that, yeah, like artificial life.
You're doing simulations, right?
They're not really simulations. They're just computer programs that evolve.
Well, I mean, the computer program is. The simulation is dependent on programming, right?
It's not really dependent. It's just
Bro, your program does not operate on anything other than code.
Yeah, but it's still evolution.
Right,
Oh,
right.
boy. Oh boy.
Okay, now here's the first part of the idiocy, okay? Like when you simulate weather, like they have computers that simulate our weather, and that's where a lot of our weather reports come from right now. Now, it doesn't matter that somebody had to program that. The program has nothing to do with the model that it's running. So you are modeling something that happens in the world, right? And you do your very best job to model it well. And that is what Jay Bundy is talking about, is they have these programs that model evolution, and there are many of them right now, and they do a damn good job. And they do not hard code in the solutions to the problems that they give the model. That's the difference. But these fools who all think they're programmers don't even understand the first thing about how to write a program.
Well,
Like
right, he's saying, he's trying to intimate that, well, it's a program, so any results that they got out of it, they programmed those results.
It, right.
You know?
Yeah. It would be like saying that your accounting program can't do accounting because you would have to program it to come up with the spreadsheets that it comes up with. No, that's not how it works. Your accounting program is very general. The code has nothing to do with the accounting program, with the algorithm that's being run. That's why we use computers. And the other reason they're faster.
Most of these simulation programs are just iterative algorithms. You do an algorithm based on certain inputs, and then you take the results and do the same algorithm on the results, using those as inputs.
Right. Those simulations and those algorithms are based on real world data. That's what.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's what they don't want to. That's what they don't want to admit, because not only with the simulations and stuff, but then they have taken short-lived, biological forms and run experiments where they've actually seen the mutations happening over time. I mean, because it doesn't, some things don't take millions of years to evolve. So.
Now, and here's the critical thing that I'm going to repeat over and over again until everybody gets it. Okay, the algorithm is simpler than the result that you get from it, and that is the way evolution works. The algorithm is simpler than the result. When an embryo develops from a zygote, okay, the program that develops that embryo is simpler than the organism that results from it. And that is how life works. What's that?
I said quote unquote simple. It's still complicated biologically.
Oh, it's complicated. I mean, it's still complicated. Well, not really. With evolution, there are, like, if you were to break it down into the actual simple rules, the complexity of the algorithm is like billions and trillions of times smaller than the complexity of the result. And that is the thing about the universe and about combinatorics and about complexity that everybody needs to understand in order to understand how evolution is working and what life is. My favorite example is pi. Okay. Pi produces a random string of digits that apparently is infinite, right? But the algorithm to calculate those digits is extremely small in comparison to that gigantic stream of random digits. And it's called Kolmogorov complexity. Okay, and so it has low Kolmogorov complexity. And
I think you just made that word up.
I made that word up. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna listen to the rest of the thing because it gets more fun. But this Bible research tools, I don't know what the fuck he thinks he knows, but from what I've listened to, he doesn't know anything. So I wish he'd
actually. I want to say one thing real quick too. Apparently, Jay Passick is now living a cinnamon life, whatever that means.
Cinnamon life?
That's the cereal.
Yeah, I know.
It's the bomb. I normally would eat original life cereal. I think I was a grown up when they came out with the cinnamon life. I'm not sure when they came out with it, so I really didn't get in the habit. But my original life habit was I needed intervention but never got it.
So what I was going to say was if the model matches real life, then we can at least trust it somewhat.
Yeah, you have to have the model match the rules at the base, right? And then you let the rules run. And the combinatorial complexity is what happens as a result. But you don't program that complexity in. That complexity develops. It's like fractals. You've all seen fractals, and you know how complex they are. They come from very, very simple equations and very simple algorithms.
Another thing is that they don't want to look at real life to know even if the models are correct. They just want to talk and not actually get anything done.
Well, those spatchcock boys, when you start talking science, those spatchcock boys, they just run out of the room screaming. You know,
they love science, but what do they love about it if they don't understand the basics of it?
Oh, did Jefferson leave?
Yeah, he left.
He said he was having trouble with his smartphone or something.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
I'm not kidding.
So just a little behind the scenes, of interest to people is I'm about ready right now to take a puff of what's called marshmallow gelato. It's quite tasty indigo. Sorry.
Oh, spooky bed hair just gave me a start. Okay, I'm gonna keep playing it. Oh, hang on a second. I gotta deal with a fur ball. Goddamn cats. Oh, I might get a new kitty.
Do you need a new kitty?
Oh, I need a new kitty. I found like light gray tuxedo kitties. They're white and light gray. And my niece found a whole batch of them. Same place I got the two I have right now. She found another whole batch of tuxedo kitties, and they are so cute. And I asked my existing kitties what we should name them, Loki and Thor. And Loki and Thor suggested we name them Snack, or Short Snack and Delicious. Because I think my kitties will eat the kitten, but I don't know.
So was your favorite cartoon as a child Tennessee Tuxedo?
Oh, I remember that. Shit, oh, God, does that take me back?
You know who the voice of Tennessee Tuxedo was?
No.
Don Adams.
Don Adams. Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Wow.
Get Smart.
Oh, my God.
Get Smart Spain.
Okay, I'm going to roll this.
Roll it.
I mean, do you have a search function?
What? You just let natural selection do the
right.
search.
Yeah, but you've limited.
He thinks it's a weasel program.
What you're searching for.
Well, I mean, similarly to the way a frog is going to limit what it searches for to things that are relevant to a frog, computer programs limit what's relevant to them to computation, but that doesn't mean it's not evolution. My point is evolution is really just a theory. It requires three things: variation, inheritance, and selection in time, so that you can have change in a population over generations. And anytime you have those conditions met, you have an evolving system. So we
That's
know.
vacuous. That's vacuous. We want to know how common ancestry.
Bible research tools. Here's the thing, Bible research tools. I'm trying to say this as nicely as I can.
Well, say it.
Okay.
You're an idiot.
What the opinion you're expressing is just not scientific, and it flies in the face of evolution. Is like the most well-supported theory in all of biology.
Well, then
right?
show us
So you can't.
ancestry.
Here's
I don't care
okay.
what it is.
I'll give you. I'm gonna give you something better. I'm gonna say something that's genuinely probably more important for you to understand. Right? Okay. Whether or not I can demonstrate evolution to your satisfaction has zero influence on whether or not you actually are evolved. So I could be able to not even explain to you what evolution means or is, or I could be completely incapable of demonstrating it to you, and none of that would change the reality of it, because like the reality of it isn't dependent on you understanding it, right?
He's created. But the fact that you can't demonstrate it, it puts you in the super majority, because no evolution can demonstrate it.
No, here's the
they
thing.
Can't show anything about it.
Here's the thing. We can demonstrate it. You won't accept the demonstrations. There's a huge difference. When you say something like, "Oh, well, show me this evolving into that," or whatever test you set up, what you do is you set up a test that by definition, nobody is saying that that's what evolution is or how it works. And we'll concede.
Darwin said
I don't care what Darwin said, because I'm an evolutionary biologist and I'm not Darwin. It doesn't matter. First of all, he hasn't been proven wrong, whatever that means. He's one of the most celebrated scientists in the history of science. Like, this is just.
So it's Satan.
No, Satan was not a scientist. You say things that are demonstrably wrong. No, Satan is not celebrated.
Danny Akins real quick.
Did he just say Satan?
Satan is a celebrity or something? Is that what?
I guess so.
Because
well, no. What he was trying to say is that that Satan is responsible for what he's saying is factual.
I think
that's I think he's saying.
Yeah, if you read between the lines, he was kind of comparing Satan to Darwin, wasn't he? That's exactly what they see when they see the picture of Darwin. Mm-hmm. That they just spray paint some little horns on that guy, Photoshop some little horns on him, and that would be exactly what they have in their mind.
So, I have a question. Who's the guy with the PhD X2?
That's Jay Bundy.
That's Jay. We already explained that. Where the hell were you, Midnight?
I'm sorry. I'm dealing. I'm dealing with.
Well, he had to coordinate that background noise. It didn't just happen.
Anyway, he's going to tell you a little. He's going to shortly tell you a little bit about who he is. So
Speed. You said read between the lines.
Yeah.
You can read between the lions and tigers.
The lions. Ooh, nice. I like what you did there.
You get the hybrid animals that are from two different species. Yeah. So did evolution happen then or not?
Well, they believe that. They
accept that, you mean?
That's mini evolution.
But
mini.
Why can't the offsprings have their offsprings of the and stuff? That's a problem for them to understand.
Yeah, so did we ever link Joel Duff's thing on dogs and genetic entropy?
Don't you know the answer is God did it?
There's
no evolution.
God my God!
And then if there's ever any evidence that shows that God didn't do it, then that's where Satan's involved. Satan is showing you those false facts of evolution, trying to color you.
They got the internet back on in Brazil.
They turned it back on. I guess.
Otangelo
paid for the internet.
Otangelo.
I'm sorry, John. I cut you off, John.
Oh no, that's fine. I was just doing like a fucking stupid bit.
Okay. Anyway,
we should probably just keep watching the video.
Yeah, StreamYard guaranteed that Brazil was shut off, and so I put a little thing in there that we are now Otangelo free, but apparently it started working again. God damn it. Anyway.
Yep.
Okay. Video.
Rated. Not many people sell it.
So Jay, what is the fidelity rate necessity that you require for your fitness function?
What the fuck?
In your simulations?
Well, I don't. There's what?
What?
I don't. That's not how natural selection works. I don't have to set up the fidelity of a fitness function.
No. In order for evolution to actually be plausible in the real world, you have to have a fidelity necessity.
You don't.
And
Listen.
There's papers. I interviewed a PhD
Danikins,
biochemist.
I guess. What the fuck does it mean by fidelity?
He's talking about DNA replication
Don't
fidelity.
cheat on Darwin.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, DNA replication fidelity. I don't know what. Okay, I don't know who he was talking to. He's probably talking to one of his creationist buddies.
DNA replication fidelity.
Yeah, fidelity was extremely low in the first billion years. I can guarantee it.
Okay.
Do
you see what?
Universities?
Can you read my name to me? Can you just read my name to me? Can you just read to me? Can you read it?
I see you have.
What does it say?
Congratulations.
Do you know what they're in?
I think one's evolutionary biology, and I'm assuming something's in.
Yes. So I don't give a fuck what other evolutionary biologists say because my job is to argue with other evolutionary biologists and tell them they're wrong all the time. So you quoting? Listen, I'm.
Okay, Jay. I was talking, and then you started being a dick. Okay, so calm down.
You muted him.
All right, now in biological systems, is it recognized that you must, in order for reproduction and life to exist, we have to have a
Danikins real quick.
No, I just tried to.
Yeah.
Notice how the Maddox called Jay a dick
when he was being a dick.
He really wasn't being a dick. He was just
he wasn't a dick at all ever at any point.
There was nothing about he did he did overtalk him, but that you just say, hey, I was talking, please don't overtalk me. You don't being a dick. I was talking. Most
of the time this guy, this Jay Bundy, he's very, very laid back and he just kind of laughs at these guys and he doesn't really engage them. But so this is the first time I think he actually got a little bit tough with them.
Yeah.
And I think ridiculous. I think he was entitled. So
and this is just
go ahead, John.
What I was going to say is, and this is what Maddox doesn't seem to understand, that people like you, Speed, and all of us have been trying to point out to him for a long time.
Wow.
Is that, dude, it's all well and good that you read stuff and everything and you want to learn things, but then you get with somebody who is an actual expert in it, and then you want to try and tell them why they're wrong. I mean, and that's why this guy Jay, and I still don't think he was being a dick, but that's why he kind of went back at him and said, well, no, read my name.
Yeah.
I have PhDs in this subject, yada, yada, and Maddox, that's just how he is with everybody. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room, no matter what the topic is.
Yeah. And that always indicates that you're really not. When you think you are, you're probably not.
Hey, I like the clarification question. Who's the scientist who did the big E. coli experiment?
Lenski.
Was it
Lenski.
Okay, Lenski.
Yep.
I knew I had that name wrong. Lenski.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Okay, I'm rolling.
No, five times, and you won't let me answer your question.
Finish my sentence. I will tell you when you can speak, bro.
I know you're the big dictator. Go ahead.
And I will yield, and you can respond.
Free speech nihilist.
So I want you to show me research. Send me links that shows in real.
I don't have any obligation to educate you.
Finish the sentence.
I'm just go ahead.
It's not. They don't have any other.
Hey, I have read papers at the wazoo on this topic.
Wazoo.
In relation to the fidelity requirements for a organism to live. And unless you are going to sit here, and not from a simulation perspective, but from a real world perspective, I need you to tell me, when I let you talk again, tell me if, and please direct me to the research which shows You don't have to have an extraordinarily high fidelity rate in order for life to continue. Go ahead.
What the fuck
Are
is
you
he
ready
talking
for this?
about?
I don't know. I want
That's
to kill
not a
myself.
relevant parameter. I'm going to repeat this again. For evolution to happen, you need a population that is changing from generation to generation. That population needs to have 3 parameters: variation, inheritance, and natural selection. There is absolutely zero obligation for a fidelity rate, selection. None of that is essential to evolutionary theory. Now you can
in simulation.
And again, I'm not talking about simulation. And I tried to tell you before that that in my system, the evolution is not a simulation. It's actual evolution. Now you can keep misrepresenting what I said to you if you'd like, but I've tried to correct you multiple times.
Okay. So you just said it's not
Does
simulation.
John still think simulations are examples?
Yes, it's digital.
Okay, so that's not.
Let me explain. Yes, I didn't say it was biological. I just said it wasn't a simulation.
So my point was, show me the research
Can you
in
guys hear me?
actual biological systems where the fidelity necessity is not in play.
Bro, I just spent 10 years in grad school, and the word fidelity necessity was mentioned 0 times. That's what I'm telling you. Biologists do not talk about this, and whoever told you they don't. I just graduated from the lab that runs the longest running evolution experiment in the history of science.
Lenski?
Yes, I graduated from the Lenski lab. That's my...
Okay, so that's where he came from, the Lenski lab, right? And they're gonna educate him on Lenski's experiments, so and this is precious. I love when creationists.
Wait a minute. Midnight turned into Jay Pasick? What the fuck happened?
What happened at midnight?
I don't know. He disappeared.
Snuck away. He just went away. Wow.
Well, he evaporates.
He did a midnight.
He pulled a midnight. Yeah, Jefferson pulled a midnight, and then midnight pulled a midnight.
Yeah, but Jeff gave a reason.
That's true.
Yeah, Jeff.
The old. I got problems with my phone trick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
we've never heard that one before.
Has anyone ever told John Maddox that in order to have evolution, you have to first have stuff that fucking can change? That creation and evolution aren't necessarily.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny. I explained this to a theist one time, and they had a really hard time understanding that. I'm like,
they're not mutually exclusive.
I was like, change over time. In order for things to change over time, what's the first thing you have to have? The person couldn't answer that question. I said, you have to have things first.
Yep.
All right. That's why and for years, I've said the same thing. It's like, why don't Christians just accept evolution? The ones that don't, why don't they just say, because they can just say that was God that created that process.
Yeah, that's why the Catholic Church doesn't have a problem with it. Yeah. Because it's an origin of species event, not an origin of life. Most evolutionary biologists will tell you that the theory of evolution does not solve the hard problem of the origin of life. It is an observational science about life changing over time.
Well, that's why apologists, a lot of apologists, when they want to debate evolution, they want to conflate evolution with abiogenesis, because
if you had 100% fidelity in copying DNA, you could not stay alive. You would not live. The species would die out very rapidly because the environment would change.
Oh, sorry. So when he's saying fidelity, is he talking like 100% faithful to the next rep? What is he talking about? Like a copy has to be 100% of the other copy? Like life has to meet the same copy?
Well, I think he's talking about a certain level of fidelity, and for some reason he thinks that has something to do with the simulation. I don't know how he even got off on that, but who knows where he dredged that shit up.
Like is he mistaking recombination for?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Yeah, with sexual reproduction, with recombination, there's definitely less fidelity, basically. So, but I don't know. Who knows what goes on in Maddox's brain?
Otangelo's well built fed in the fucking live chat, by the way.
What's that?
I said Otangelo's well belt fed in the fucking live chat, by the way.
Oh, good. So I think what's going on in his brain is somebody challenged him. You know, he's in a bar and somebody challenged him. That's basically what went on in his brain.
Really hard time understanding that.
So what's happening? Somebody's playing something. Who's playing something?
It's not me.
First thing you have to have. The person couldn't answer that question.
No, I have not hearing it.
Oh.
That was you.
I mean, I'm hearing it too.
I could hear it.
It was John.
Oh, it was John. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see his thing moving.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
I must have double tapped. I went to mute and it turned red, but I must have double tapped. Sorry.
Okay, moving on.
An unforgivable mistake.
Yes, he failed, and then he was awarded. And then he was awarded a fellowship with the National Academy of Science for failing. Lenski just graduated from the lab that runs the longest running evolution experiment in the history of science.
Lenski?
Yes, I graduated from the Lenski lab. That's my.
He failed.
Oh my goodness! Yes, he failed, and then he was awarded. And then he was awarded a fellowship with the National Academy of Science for failing.
He was awarded a fellowship at the National Academy of Science for failing. Is what he was trying to put a. Oh yeah, Lenski's a failure according to these creationists. It's kind of like ERVs. Lenski and ERVs really get under their skin, and so that's all they fucking talk about. You know, just
Just graduated from his lab. Oh my goodness! Have a good night, fellas. I didn't learn it. I'm kidding, but seriously, I gotta go. I got a few minutes, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so are you saying that in the, I think it was the 2019 paper update on the running experiment you're referring to, did they not talk about the reduction in fitness overall as a result of that, and as evidence in the experiment?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Yeah, all the populations have improved in fitness. What are you talking about?
What do you? Are you serious, bro? I've literally read the paper where they talked about this.
Literally,
dude. I just do you want me to?
I know.
Can you share? Can you come on?
Did you? Okay, I don't care if you graduated from the lab. Were you?
Hold on. Can you mute that?
Yes, I wrote.
Okay, now explain to me, and maybe Otangelo in the chat, because he was, ripping on the idea that I would ever try and, tell Maddox anything. He just said improved in fitness. All right, so all you guys that are in here now that know more about all this shit than I do, what the fuck does that even mean? To me, that just sounds like nonsense. An improvement in fitness? Like, what the fuck is that? That's not even.
He's appealing to a programmer. He's basically saying he's trying to argue that because of the examples that he's using, like the read-only memory and the ROM, he's trying to basically necessitate that there has to be an ultimate programmer for all that stuff that we see, and that ultimate programmer is God.
Right, but what I'm trying to point out, though, and I understand that about him.
Yeah.
But an improvement in fitness, I don't know as much as the people that know in this room or elsewhere, probably not even as much as Maddox, really, when it comes right down to it, because he's read a lot more than I have. But that phrase, improvement in fitness, that's not what evolution's about. Okay, it's not that you improve in fitness, it's that you adapt to your environment. And that's what the phrase, what is the
survival of the
fittest? Survival, that's where that comes from. It's being fit to fit into your environment. It's not an improvement in fitness. Like he's, anyway.
Or even simpler, it's fitness is your ability to pass on your genes to the next generation.
Yeah.
Whatever improves that.
I'm going to have to push.
Environment is an improvement in fitness, not.
I'm going to have to push back on that a little bit, John. That basically it's a very, very tiny advantage in one fitness of one type over another. Like if you have a 0.01% advantage in a large population for some period of time, you will see that population slowly start to fix in the greater population, right? You'll see those changes. So there are very small fitness changes. As far as adapting to the environment, there are things that are built into life so that we have some wiggle room You know, like we can stand when you're living in the hellfire where Scott Duke lives, 108 degrees. You know, we can go up that high. You know, so there's some wiggle room in it, and there's some adaptation, but adapting to a landscape is it's almost, you got to be careful in that kind of thinking, because it's almost like there's a force to adapt, right? It's not like that. It just happens to adapt because there are so many living things. You know, there's so many things in the population that some of those, and that's what happened in Lenski's bacteria. You know, there over and over again they would branch off, and there were groups that would overtake other groups because they had a very small fitness advantage, and that's kind of what happens. And it happens over, like, there has to be like a lot of life going on for life to adapt, and it adapts kind of in the way lava flows down a hill and falls into a groove, right? That's kind of how the adaptation works, or adaptation works. But anyway, yeah. So
but I mean, you said you're going to give me some blowback. I don't hear any blowback there. I'm just, because the thing is the only thing I was pointing out is the fact of improvement in fitness. That's like a nonsensical term, because fitness describes something, but it's not like it's a metered, you know, measurement of life, like this. You know what I mean? I mean, it's describes the mechanism, you know, part of the mechanism of evolution. It's not like you know, everybody's got so much fitness. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, that's the other trap in teleologies, when they start thinking about that evolution has to improve on fitness. No, that's not quite what works.
No, it doesn't.
It's very, very different than that. And the whole Lenski experiment is like this brilliant amount of, they have just so much data right now to go through. And then what they're looking at is all the ins and outs of extinction events and populations that end up outproducing others, and some that underproduce, and some dead end. And it's just, you know, this amazing bunch of data, and it has been missing. Every time they have some population that goes extinct, or that shows, you know, some reduced fitness in that environment, they go absolutely nuts. See, that proves devolution. And it's like, no, the whole purpose of the Lenski experiment is to look at the intricacies of, you know, lots of, you know, generations over a long time, and huge populations, and all of the different kinds of mutations that are happening. And there's even mutation in the mutation rate that happens in Lenski.
I'm reading more of Otangelo's comments. Man, his confirmation bias is fucking thick.
What is it?
I mean,
it's hard to even.
He's starting from, this God has to exist because I'm seeing all this pre-programmed stuff. And if you can't show me that this shit's not pre-programmed, then there's a fucking God, or there's some kind of program.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. That's not how we fucking reason.
It was programmed. Yes, and there you go, Gur. Okay, let's listen to the rest of it. I think he disappears in about a minute.
Were you an author on that paper?
Oh my goodness, bro.
Were you an author on that paper? Yes or no?
My goodness. Hang on a second. I got it. Do you want me to pull up a paper? Do you guys want me to show you evidence?
Wait a minute.
If I show you evidence, you're gonna accept it?
Did you publish any of those?
No,
papers?
I wasn't. Yes, I was on some of those papers. I was just going to show you how the fitness has increased over time and continues to do so, and will continue.
You can't even read your
rate,
but
the rate
but they're not.
Fitness increase has improved.
Can I make a quick Dandykins here?
What do you mean they're not?
So the rate of fitness increase has not improved. Is that what he said? But the fitness has. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't even think they understand what fitness is. I mean, no. Jay is talking to a group of people who, even though he's saying talking about fitness, they mean something different. That's not what fitness is.
Okay.
Fitness is smarter and stronger.
Okay. Let's unpack this fucking Otangelo Grasso comment.
Well, can I just jump in here? I thought that was interesting that Knox, Maddox there, he asked that guy, what paper are you on the paper?
Yeah.
he came into a channel one time talking about talking like he could diagnose. He was talking like he knew that somebody had narcissism. And I asked him, I'm like, oh, I didn't know you had a psychology degree or a psychiatry degree. And he goes, get this motherfucker out of here. Kind of did the same thing. I'm like, now he's sitting there trying to tell this guy, or are you on that paper? No, but what?
It reminds me of the apologist. Dude, were you there?
Yeah, but did you notice that he did say that he is the author on some of those papers? There were about 100 papers, I think. So anyway, so he is on some of those papers. He's the real deal, and they're coming back at him like they know more than he does.
Wait. Okay, so it's so funny. I'm reading Otangelo's comment that you put up,
right,
and it's making me have a flashback. And so I'm going to ask Otangelo. And Otangelo, could you link us to the portion of the paper that does suggest that there's a kind of pre-programming adaptive capacity? Because I'm having a flashback to when I think it was here to where you brought a paper to us one time, and then within 5 minutes we were all looking at it and going, no, that's not what the paper says, Otangelo. And then you got all pissed off and left, man. You were just off the deep end, dude. So you're making a claim here, that this evidence. So link us to a paper that shows that, and let's see if you're right.
Okay, but the evidence he presented suggests that many organisms possess a kind of pre-programmed adaptive capacity. Do you know what that's called? That's called fucking evolution. That's what that's fucking called. Okay? It's like, way to go, Otangelo. You just came down on our side without even knowing it.
Well, that's not what he means, and you know that. But that's awesome.
Yeah. He means it was like, oh, somebody put it there, but no, it's there, and it's called evolution. There is a pre-programmed adaptive thing about life that allows it to keep going on and on and on, in spite of the shit we've seen in the last 5 years, where we kind of want it to stop. It just keeps going on and on.
Well, so right there, there's the crux of it right there, is he's admitting, like you just said, well, yeah, that's the mechanism. But then he's just saying, but that mechanism was created by God.
Yeah.
That didn't sound
had to be created, right? Had to be.
If we go with Otangelo's idea, then all life could keep on living on. It wouldn't have any flaws.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any extinction. Yeah. If it was programmed and it was programmed well, then it would just never end, right?
Let the pearls come in. Let the pearls. He wrote, "Let the pearls come in." My mind went to someplace wrong.
Let the pearls come. Oh no, not that. You mean like on a string?
Wait a minute. No. He's saying, "Let the pearls come in." Is he talking about a pearl necklace?
That's where my mind went.
Yeah. That goes back to the anisectomy. That goes back to the anisectomy I referred to earlier.
When I told me and my sisters were out having a few drinks one night, and she wore a pearl necklace, came on the jukebox, somebody had played it, and my one sister's like, I don't get it. She wore a pearl necklace. And I started laughing at her, and I said, that means he shot it all over her chest. And she's like, she's like, ick, that's not that.
Oh, my mind didn't even go that far.
And I said, well, yeah, that's exactly what that song means. I go, you're so gullible, you probably think that brown-eyed girl is about a pair of girls' eyes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, anyway. Okay. I should say hi to my chatters more often. So Bree was here. We got Casey, Randy, Maynard saved. There's somebody named. No, it can't be Otangelo. Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah,
okay.
Did you read his last post? Right. If evolution were true, why is there still death?
Oh my God. Oh, well, thank you, Otangelo. I love when you drop the
wizard.
Oh my God.
Is that what he means?
My God. Wait a minute.
Okay.
I gotta get a screenshot of this.
Gotta get a screenshot of this.
Evolution is a trial and error problem.
Okay,
That's
like
why.
I think these are the pearls that he's talking about. He's dropping pearls for us.
No, that's poop. That's straight up poop.
Shit, I can't remember. I'll get a fucking screen. What's the screen? What do you call them? Fast keys or the quick keys?
John, I'll send you a screenshot. I got one.
No, what's the quick key for? It's like shift
on the Mac.
He uses mouse. I just use snipping.
So
Command Shift 4
doesn't understand trial and error.
Command Shift 4 on the Mac.
Why he has to ask that question?
I just sent you a screenshot of just that clip. So,
what of Otangelo's? Otangelo's comment.
Yeah. That's Thank you, Otangelo.
You took it off the screen, and so I'm a boomer, so I forgot it already. What did he say?
Well, I sent it to you in text. So. Okay.
Oh, all right. That was what that thing was. All right.
Okay, I want to finish that. I want to finish this, and then we can move on.
Not dying, of course they die.
They have an increased death rate, an increased mutation rate, increased death rate.
Yes, we have hypermutators that have increased their mutation rate. What is your point? That in no way.
Overall fitness has not improved. It's literally talked about how.
Yes, it has. In the ancestral environment that they're in, or are you talking about in other environments that they haven't seen?
Okay, so if you can.
Are you talking about in glucose? You talking about a glucose? Go ahead. Say their fitness hasn't increased in glucose, and then go pull it up. Show me. Why don't you show me the paper you're talking about? Why don't you pull up the paper and then show me the graph right now? Go ahead. Prove it.
Hey, I'll find mine, but you
go ahead. Go find it. Go ahead. Go find it. I'll wait.
Bro, you talk about
go ahead.
Your papers, bro. Pulled up.
Here's the difference between me and you. You're wrong. I'm right. Okay, I'm trying to tell you.
Pull up your paper.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm
going to find mine.
I
read this one 2 years ago. Okay, I'm trying to go find.
That is really a precious comment right there.
Oh my god.
Jay needs to switch. Jay needs to switch his tactic up to just saying nuh-uh, 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 nuh-uh.
Hey, so I thought of something for Otangelo. You know, if what did he say? If evolution's true, why is there still death?
Yeah.
Well, if fucking creation's true, why was death even a thing in the first place?
Right. Well, according to them, it wasn't in the beginning. It was something about eating a fucking fruit. They don't like fruits.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, why is there suffering anyway? You know, if it's a perfect
that would
being
explain the LGBTQ problem.
Why is there why is there suffering anyway? Not just death. Yeah.
Okay.
Some
few more
petty
minutes
thing
here.
like eating some fruit.
And who was that? Was that Maddox?
In life.
Was that Maddox that was screaming, or was it?
Well, they're basically just heated right now, and I still think Jay. I think Jay should just switch up his tactic and go nuh-uh, nuh-uh.
Yeah, they get really upset and agitated when they're faced with facts. You know, when you got an actual scientist from the fucking lab in here telling them, no, you're fucking wrong.
Speaking of getting upset when faced with facts, did anybody see that video of the Uvalde, Texas council get mad about when they released the picture or the images of the cops inside the school?
Oh no, really?
They were just pissed because somebody leaked a picture, video of the various different cops inside the school and what they were doing and not doing, like checking their phone and washing their hands with
and also early on in the video, the first time they heard gunshots, they all turned fucking tail and ran.
And they ran. Okay, at the beginning of the video, they showed a little boy standing on the end of the hall, and the little boy kind of turned and walked away. The cops ran 10 times as fast as that little boy did. When they heard shooting, when they heard fucking gunfire, they ran down the hall. It's like, and then inexplicably, one of them turns and grabs some hand sanitizer, like right in the middle of a fucking massacre. The last thing on your mind, I suppose he was nervous. I don't know.
Or
Are you
maybe
talking
the
about-
kid just like had a snotty nose and wiped it with his hand, and he said, "Ooh, I need to get me some hand sanitizer." It's kind of a association thing.
I mean, you got bullets flying in a fucking classroom, and this dude feels that he has to protect himself with hand sanitizer.
Well, it's just one extra barrier.
I have no
around your
idea.
hands.
Wait, is this about a Uvalde?
I think it's because
yeah, it's about
Uvalde.
Uvalde.
I think where they did the mass shooting, in Texas.
I think he probably grabbed that. I think he grabbed that because cowardice can cause a viral infection.
Yeah, you did see the video, didn't you, Jay, of the cops running away?
Nope, I haven't seen that one yet.
It's hard to watch, but the cops are running away when they hear shooting in a fucking classroom full of children. The cops run down the hall.
And the issue for that meeting was, I just wanted to be on record that I think that was what did he call it? Did he call it bullshit without calling it bullshit? What did he say about it? But in other words, he was just mad that it got leaked and not mad that their cops failed the entire community.
Yeah. So I kind of want to give these guys on this panel that we're looking at credit, because later on they review that and they did come down pretty hard on the cops, which is hard for conservatives to do. So anyway, they even thought it was ridiculous.
Who is this? What is this Shapiro paper that Otangelo keeps referencing?
Oh,
I think the thing about the pre-programmed cell death or something.
I don't know. Otangelo, link the fucking paper if you're going to talk about a paper, so I don't have to look it up.
Well, because I challenged him to put a link up, but I'm sorry.
Does he have mods to even do that?
Yeah, he doesn't have a wrench, and
I'll give you a wrench, Otangelo, for a minute. Yeah, we don't want people throwing Otangelo out anyway. He's
Oh, Icarus said he linked
Icarus
it.
says he's got it there. So.
Oh, he does?
Well, he says he linked it 3 times.
The only problem is every time I give Otangelo a wrench, he fucking spams us with his cat's board shit. Don't do that, Otangelo, or I'll take it away again.
Yeah, Icarus sent it straight to a paper.
He linked it 3 times. Yeah. He linked it 3 times, and I didn't catch it. Oh my god!
Well, yeah,
I didn't either.
You're neglecting your side chatters.
Well, I've been trying to watch it, and I've been trying to do a bunch of other stuff. I'm fucking old. Okay, god damn it.
That's the whole paper. I don't even think you have to log into anything. Maybe I don't know. Here's abstract. There's their conclusion. So anyway, there's the Shapiro paper. And Icarus, thank you very much, man. Icarus.
Oh wow, he literally copied and pasted the first part of that abstract. So I can't see the full. I can't see the full paper, but I can read the abstract. But yeah, he's been copy and pasting just sections of the abstract.
We'll take a look at it after we're done. We got a minute left. I just think this J thing was so fucking precious. I want to replay it for everybody and get the whole thing right on record. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Until you find it,
John,
No,
I have the paper here.
Oh, great! Go ahead.
Okay, it's gone. Dan halfway.
Share your screen. Share your screen. Share your screen. So you can see
I'm not going to share my screen.
We'll wait till you figure it out.
Knock it off, jackass.
No, you said you want to see the evidence. You got to show us. Mute him. He's not. He's talking bullshit.
Read it.
No, you read him. Share your screen.
Jay, calm down. Dan is been in ICU for like 2 months. He's just
So tell him to share the link
down.
with you, and then you can share your screen and you can show him.
Down, Jay.
Big Blount et al. Genomic and phenotype evolution of Escherichia coli in a novel citrate-only resource environment. And it's volume 9 of eLife.
And they're like I said,
well, okay, this is Lenski paper that I got. This is where he said this. He said, we conjecture that the evolutionary refinement of traits that open new niches may often promote evolvability at the expense of robustness and overall good health. Now that's 2020.
All right, LPP, can I have 30 seconds to rebuff this?
Sure.
Please.
You can't finish at this point. Continue.
He's done. Can I just finish this already? Okay, great. All right, do me a favor, Bible Research Tools. I want, in the name of the Trinity, do me a favor and read the title of that paper 3 times in a row.
The title is meaningless. It's
Do me a favor, please.
You
I
can't
asked
name evolution.
you to do this. Just play the game with me. I did it your way. Please read the title 3 times.
It was right there.
Read the title for me.
Rapid evolution of citrate utilization by what? But it wasn't evolution, it was devolution.
Okay. You said a citrate. You said a citrate-only environment, correct?
It was
devolution. Yeah.
I said specifically, show it to me in glucose. They were not evolving in citrate. This is evolution. According to natural selection, as you improve in fitness in a particular environment that you're exposed to, you lose fitness environment you had not been exposed to. What they were able to do was recapture that after they evolved them in citrate. Normally, their involvement where they don't utilize citrate. So this is not the environment of the experiment. You're talking about a citrate-only environment. They evolved in glucose, and only one population and evolved the ability to use citrate, which is the evolution of a nitrate.
That lost viability, and it increased death rate.
It didn't lose. What did it lose viability? It still grows in glucose, and it grows on citrate. What are you talking about? See, here's the problem. You're being a jerk right now. And I don't mean no. I don't mean to say this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Who else would come in here and they would say to you, I literally just graduated from this lab. I literally just wrote a dissertation with this man. And you're gonna actually sit here and after I spent 10 years in the Lenski lab and tell me I don't know the Lenski lab research. Fellas, literally I gotta go at 2:00. But you've been very disrespectful. You would never insult somebody's intelligence that way. And don't act like you would. You did it because you want to deny evolution at all.
Oh, they would.
No, I'll come back. I'll come back. I'm good. But you're
not sure.
Okay.
Man,
anyway, so they show this Van Hofwegen paper where basically Van Hofwegen came out with a thing and he said, you know, he was taking exception to what Lenski said about a speciation event. And when you're talking about a species, okay, E. coli is defined as not basically not utilizing citrate in an aerobic environment. That is the definition of the species. And so they evolved something that was not within that definition. But this Van Hofwegen took exception to it, and I linked a paper or a criticism by Lenski that came back at Van Hofwegen. And then the other paper that they showed was an actual paper by Blount, Zachary Blount, who works hand in hand with Lenski. He's on a lot of papers. I think they wrote about 30 papers together. Blount 2020, where he talks about what they were actually talking about is fitness losses in certain, when you go from one environment to another on some of the strains, and these guys cherry pick and misinterpret the whole fucking thing, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. And enough of that.
Also, I noticed that guy Jay, who, you know, it's so funny. He basically gave his
oh my god
curriculum vitae or whatever there. And you know, he's going up against Maddox and all them guys, but I noticed he was using the phrase improvement in fitness. So actually, I guess that is I thought it was a nonsensical, but if he's using it, I guess it's.
Wow.
I'm just not seeing why.
Would you guys, hey Speed? Did you ever watch my video about the Praise I Am faceplant?
No.
Oh yeah, he does his little community post, right? And he posted.
Oh yeah, maybe I did.
Yeah, if you pull that up, that's I did a short video on that because man, that was a mythic faceplant. But that this comment from Otangelo, magic without a magician, makes sense to you? Well, the reason why we have quote unquote magic is because we have magicians. Right. In order to do magic, it's contingent on magicians, but you have examples of magicians doing certain kinds of quote unquote magic. You have yet to make a determination as to what magician you're referring to that is supposedly doing the quote unquote magic that you're referring to, Otangelo.
How would I find that video? Oh, here it is. Praise I am faceplant. Got it. I found that video.
Oh, you can just go to if you want, just go to Praise I Am's community post.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Just go to that. That's trust me, that's good enough as it is.
Yeah, I want to talk about something else for just a minute first, and abortion. Anyway, there was a story about a 10-year-old that had to cross state lines to basically get an abortion. A 10-year-old that was pregnant, and it came out in a newspaper article, and it came out in an article that, as it turns out, that was not the lead story. It was just about the whole issue in general. And anyway, all the major news outlets, conservative and liberal, went after this reporter that wrote this story and asked for the source, right? They wanted the source of this information for this 10-year-old. In other words, they wanted the 10-year-old's name. They wanted to put it out there, basically.
Oh, the abortion thing, yeah.
And they refused it, right? So as soon as they refused it now, the next thing I heard is that the 10-year-old pregnancy was a hoax. And that's what the media, the mainstream media, decided to call it, because they refused to expose this child to nationwide scrutiny, right? So they absolutely refused it. And then yesterday or the day before, the person that got her pregnant was charged with a crime. And it turns out it's not a hoax, that it was a real thing, right? So then what happened is the assistant or the attorney general of some fucking state involved decided to go after the doctor that helped this girl and try to fucking find something that he did wrong in order to distract us from the egg that they had on their face, where they went right away to, oh, this is a hoax, right? And then they had a bunch of I watched a few videos where they had some victims of that kind of crime who were basically raped and impregnated when they were very, very young. And the thing about the 10-year-old is that the reason that you don't need that particular 10-year-old's name is because this is fucking not an uncommon thing. A lot of people have gone through this very same thing. But I thought it was amazing because the hoax thing spread so wide that even my ultra liberal sons believed it was a hoax, up until the point when the other information came out and they found out.
Well, they just put that out about the hoax just so people would stop trying to find out who she was.
I know. I think the Fox News and a bunch of others got behind the whole hoax thing because they couldn't stand the idea that what they had just done causes kind of pain in some person. So they were trying to basically downplay the whole fucking thing. At least that's the story I got. But it's really interesting. The media just goes fucking bananas on shit like that, right?
Well, I mean, I just don't understand how. I don't understand the thinking behind saying this young girl was raped and she's pregnant, but we can't let her get an abortion. I don't understand, what's the thinking? I mean, and I'm being serious by saying that. I just don't understand what the thought process is about that. And even if you're saying it's on religious grounds, I mean, that's, to me, is just like a suspension of common sense, to the nth degree. I can't even accept it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 10-year-old. You could almost make the argument that, which it's not possible, a 10-year-old can't consent, but centuries ago, people were getting married very, very younger. So I'm sure that there's been other times when a 10-year-old was pregnant. But in today's age, it's like, how could you not just? I don't get it. It makes me real sad.
Yep. Well, there was I'm trying to find it, but did you see I don't know if it was if some politician was saying, "Oh, that wasn't an abortion for a 10-year-old that's pregnant to terminate a pregnancy." She said that was not an abortion. Did you catch that one? That was really interesting.
Who said that?
I forget who the fuck it is. Let me see here. Uvalde shooting. Trying to find it. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm not going to be able to find the damn thing.
So, John, could the populations of people having the need to want to save the babies and stuff and bring upon more people like that by letting them grow up from fetus to a baby and so on? So maybe the populations and stuff change to think that way, to think that fetuses have the same rights as an adult or whatever.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but if that's the way it was, that fetuses had all the same rights as a
that one's funny too.
A grown human being. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Like, I don't, I understand what you're saying, but how could that ever happen? Like, is that where are you trying to say that, Dog, that's where we're headed with these religious right wingers? That's what they want. They want, to get to the point, of shit like that.
I mean, that's one possibility.
Hang on a second here. Okay.
It's complicated, so.
Before we get to praise, listen to this.
Today, take a listen.
Do you think a 10-year-old should choose to carry a baby?
I believe it would probably impact her life. And so therefore, it would fall under any exception and would not be an abortion.
Wait, it would not be an abortion if a 10-year-old with her parents made the decision not to have a baby that was a result of a rape?
If a 10-year-old became pregnant as a result of rape and it was threatening her life, then that's not an abortion. So it would not fall under any abortion restriction in our nation.
Then that's not an abortion. There was, of course, another expert who retorted that abortion is medical care. What do you make of her comments, Michelle?
If you read the law that was signed into effect by the governor, there are no exceptions for cases such as that which this girl has. So changing the language of it or the meaning of it, given that there's been public uproar, doesn't change the fact that this child couldn't get that pregnancy terminated in the state that she was coming from.
There you go. Anyway, not an abortion. What the fuck?
Well, if you're losing an argument, change the definitions of everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, that's what John Sanford told Sal Cordova to do about fitness. Just change the definition if you're losing the argument. So, anyway. Okay. Yeah, then why did she have to drive to another state? Yeah. Okay. So, Jay, which one is it? Which community post? Does he do a lot of them?
Yeah, he does. It's the one after this. Okay. That one's funny. That one's funny too. It's that one right there.
Okay, the one with the dog or the horse?
The horse and all that. Yeah. Now, just read the post that if you want to read that. So he wrote this, and then at the bottom of it, it says credit Zion Manning. So apparently there was a study put out back in 2018 about mitochondria DNA barcoding. Yep. Right. And so apparently this is evidence that evolution is false. Right. So he posts this shit, which most of it is copy and paste from the Zion Manning blog post. Then I got him through conversation on his comment thread to actually cite the actual study, which he did. And at the top of the study, it actually says this paper supports Darwinian evolution.
Oh, cool.
Barcoding wouldn't work because every animal is different. So the barcode would only work for that animal unless you're a clone. And maybe even then the DNA changes throughout its life.
Yeah, this is one of SFT's favorites, and Raw Matt the Fruit Bat. Basically, the barcoding thing, they went back and they said that according to this one gene, this cytochrome C oxidase subunit 1, basically the COX-1 gene. According to that, okay, there's coalescence back around 200,000 years for a lot of animals, and it's because this is a highly conserved gene, and that was only for that one gene. And the researchers that developed this method were not interested in proving or disproving anything about evolution or lineage or phylogeny. They were interested in coming up with a way to very quickly do a barcode type identification of a species. And that was the point of the research. And these guys have run with it, and they've taken it to places it was never meant to go. And it's sort of bullshit. But so anyway, okay, read more. So I guess that's where, oh my God. The evidence doesn't show a gradual slide from one species into the next. What the fuck is he talking about? So where did he get this information from, Jay?
He got it from Zion Manning, which is a Lutheran-based website. Basically, what they did was they saw this particular study, misrepresented it, wrote some blogs about it, and then there was some other. I think there were some others. Well, there was a tech article about it, which he posted the link to in the comment thread. And he goes, well, yeah, see that debunks Darwinian evolution. And then and then he goes, and so is the other part. And I said, what's the other part? He goes, oh, that paper. I got the paper. And I said, okay. So I click on the paper, and then I did the video, and I show where it says, like, if you click on the comments in this,
how the fuck do I get to the comments on this?
Just go down. You got to click the little box down there somewhere.
This one? Comments. Okay.
Yep.
74 comments. Okay.
Yep. So scroll down.
There you are, right here. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not on mine. It's scroll down a little bit more. It's one that he did individually. It's a separate comment from him. Yeah,
okay,
there it is.
The direct citations.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's the bottom one, that google.com one.
Okay, so that's Steckel and Thaler. They're the ones that did the original barcoding study.
Yeah, if you click on that study, and it'll show you the full PDF of the study, and at the very top there's a note that was added December of 2018 that says this paper is in supports Darwinian evolution. But Praise thinks that the data debunks Darwinian evolution.
Let's see here. Okay, there's the paper.
Yeah, go all the way to see the writing way at the top.
Yep.
Above the there's a note. You got to scroll up to make it visible, but
okay, that means I got to drop it down a little bit here.
Yeah, see, no, added by author December 4th, 2018. This study is grounded in and strongly supports Darwinian evolution, including the understanding that all life has evolved from common biological origin, even several billion. I don't have my glasses on. So yep.
You got to put up Stephanie Trenton's last post up on the screen.
Oh, it's precious.
Is it as good as her stalagmites one that says that they only evolve when people are watching them?
We fill in the unknown gaps and call it and say it's evolution.
Stephanie, that is evolution. The filling in of those gaps. I'm sorry, but it's like, yeah, we call it evolution because it's fucking evolution.
Well, no, she tried to make that argument that Danny was or who was making the argument, naturalism of the gaps. I can't remember who that was.
I don't know. Anyway, so they added this note because of all the fucking shit that these guys have gotten from the creationists picking up their work and misrepresenting it. And they're probably pretty tired of it. But
yeah, that's what I figured, because the blog post came out like September of 2018. And there was a few other I think sites that were just religious, websites that were like, "Ooh, look what they found. They found that there's similarities and blah 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 blah. This debunks Darwinian evolution." And I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Oh, they're just such idiots.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
But that was an epic. Yeah, I did like a 22-minute video on that. It was an epic. It was an Otangelo moment for Praise.
Let me see here. What the fuck? Why can't I open this in a new? Oh, I see. Why can't I copy the link address? I'm trying to put this in my description. Anyway, so what the fuck? YouTube redirect? What is that? You can't copy a link out of these comments? That's interesting. I don't know. Well, let me work on that. Okay. Anyway.
You should be able to.
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm not sure what's going on. Something weird is going on here. Well, I guess I'll just copy the damn thing. Whole cloth. Let's see. Okay, gotcha. I got it. Anyway, that's all I had today. The fucking fuck? Okay. Got that paper. Good. And I'll also throw this community post out here just for good measure. I'll call it Praise Does Dumb. Just does dumb. There you go. We got all the links. Work is done for the day, boys and girls. Not the same as philosophical naturalism. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, he's saying that naturalism is basically what Satan uses to deceive us, and I'm trying to tell him, then why do you appeal to the natural for evidence of God?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, naturalism, blah, 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 says that that's the only thing. And I'm like, not methodological naturalism. Metaphysical naturalism basically denies supernatural causation, but not methodological naturalism. It basically kind of suspends that and kind of goes, well, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, like, I got into discussions about what physicalism was years ago, and I ended up renaming my take on it to propositional physicalism, because they insisted that physicalism was the insistence that everything is physical. Well, if you're a physicalist, you know that it's very hard to hash that out. You know, and also there's no requirement when you hold a position that you absolutely say for certain that everything is X.
Yes.
So you can be a physicalist and you can adhere to it. And it's almost like methodological naturalism. You can be completely agnostic about making universal claims about the universe, or, you know, the dctA or reality with a capital R. You are not obligated to make those claims, and you can still be a physicalist, right? And that's within everything you're going to do, think, believe, your epistemology, everything. You apply physicalism or naturalism, but you do not have to make an absolute claim. And my position is that those absolute claims have come themselves. They are religious ideas, and they've come from people that believe in bullshit religion, right? And gods. They have this they have this idea about certainty and absolute and universals, and none of that is. I think I'm dying. None of that is necessary at all. Hang on
Jesus
a second.
Christ, man! Don't joke
Be
about shit like that.
That's why I have
I'm
icy cold beverage next to me at all times.
I'm here. I'm here to keep my mind off of all the aches and pains that I'm feeling. So.
Oh shit! I just inhaled my fucking.
Did you go and get old, Jay?
No, I have COVID.
Oh, I
you
didn't
do?
realize that. Is
Yeah.
this the second time, third time?
First.
How's it feel? How does it feel?
Like somebody rolled over me with a truck.
How does it feel?
You have a headache?
Persistent.
Oh, I've heard horrible things about the headache. That's why I don't want it.
Sore throat, swollen lymph nodes in my neck.
Have you lost your taste and smell?
It's a little diminished, but it's not bad. My sinuses, it's weird. My sinuses have been surprisingly clear for this.
I've heard that about it.
It's really like, even my wife, she had a little bit of stuffiness, but like she didn't have a problem breathing through her nose when she was sleeping. You could kind of feel your sinuses drain. Like if you lay on your back, you could feel your sinuses drain. Like I feel it more in my ears than I do in my sinuses. It's fucked. It's a fucked up virus. And
That's
speaking
bad.
of which, if you want to talk about fucking these idiots that fucking sit there and talk about evolution, look at the fucking evolution of that particular virus. Fuck you.
Yeah.
All those little variants that are out there.
Like a
But it's
Casey
not the
man,
virus actually doing it.
KCA Randy said, did Satan hide the fossils to trick people? And Otangelo Grasso shoots back immediately. Bingo!
You would think Satan, one of God's favorite angels, well, it was God's, according to some stories, it was God's favorite angel. You would have thought he would have learned to hide things better.
Oh my God. So
I wish Otangelo was not married, because I'd like to fix him up with Stephanie Trent.
Oh shit. Anyway, Joel Duff had some pretty good videos too.
Well, Otangelo, the reason you didn't get it isn't because you're strong. We know that you probably put your wife and daughter in a crate outside. That was too easy. He opened the door to that.
His wife and daughter are weak.
Little tarp, a bowl of water. Actually, he got one of those big water bottles, that you just lick to get the animal licks to get the water out of.
Dressel says it's Otangelo exposure syndrome. Is what they got.
OES. I saw a commercial on Hulu about that. OES syndrome. That's where they play. Hulu's where they play all the drug commercials. Either that, or I've just crossed an age where I'm going to be getting drug commercials for the rest of my life.
Oh, look who's in chat now! Oh my God.
Oh, Kafai, we're gonna have some mushrooms.
Well, he's already referencing Hicks, so it's already started.
Yeah.
Bill Hicks is his god.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. I went to the Mayo Clinic for a whole bunch of tests, and I got to look at the bite they took out of my kidney, and it's really cool. It's kind of like there's a big circle. It looks like a nebula, like a star that blew up inside of my body. And does
it kind of look like the Apple logo?
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, I should get money for that. But anyway, they told me that I have a 99% survival rate in the next 5 years. And I looked at my doctor and I said, "Oh, that means I'm going to die, right? There's a 1% chance I'm going to die."
So you're saying there's a chance, right, Doc?
I'm saying there's a chance. It's like, fuck. And then worse yet,
I was a little worried there for a second.
Yeah. I mean, did he say you can always hope?
Yeah. So in 10 years, it goes down to 98%, and I'm really worried about that.
2% is the tipping point right there.
Yeah, it's a tipping point.
Now I understand why you were in such a good mood the other day, because you're 71 now?
Yeah.
That had to be like some of the best news you've gotten in decades, man.
That was pretty fucking good. Well, actually, I get good medical news all the time, and there it is. My doctors are always like, "Why the fuck are you still alive? What the fuck?" They're just like, my doctors are usually pissed off at my blood work and all that stuff. So anyway,
because you defy every piece of advice they've ever given to a patient.
Evidence of the supernatural, speed of sound's metabolism.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. like I did this. I did an echocardiogram where you get on a treadmill and they run you until you think you're going to die and your heart's rapping 1,000,000 miles a minute.
Yeah.
So I did this echocardiogram, and at the end of it, the doctor, who didn't know me, right, he asked me, he says, "God, you're in good shape. What's your secret?" And I said, "Well, all the cocaine you can snort, fucking porterhouse steaks grilled, burnt, grilled, and raw in the middle with all the salt you can put on them." And he said, and he literally swore and said, "Get the fuck out of here."
Oh, did you tell him about the smoke?
That was funny. What's that?
Did you tell him about the smoking?
Oh, the smoking?
But when you used to smoke.
Oh, yeah. And 6.2 packs of cigarettes a day, too. Yeah, and he says, "Get the fuck out of here."
I still
don't want to talk to me anymore.
I don't even know how that's even fucking possible.
I don't either. I've been still trying to figure it out.
Well, sometimes you ended up with 2 cigarettes at the same time.
Well, sometimes I had one in each hand, and my sons would say, "Dad, you got 2 cigarettes." Like, okay. And I would let a lot of them burn in the ashtray. And I smoked those 120s, those Moors, Moor 120s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would go out in the ash. Yeah, and I never smoked them down to the nub like some people do,
Did you always keep a few packs? Did you always keep a few packs in your purse?
In where?
Nothing. Never mind.
Were you always reaching for your shirt pocket because that's where the cigarettes were kept? But
I had like when I was really young, we used to go to these pit parties, where we'd be out there for 3 days with kegs of beer. And the fucking thing that really pissed me off is all my friends knew that I never run out of cigarettes. I mean, my trunk was filled with cigarettes, right? So they would always bum cigarettes from me because those assholes would never take enough. And it got so that I had to hide them and go hide in the woods and smoke because the fuckers would descend on me like maggots.
Yeah, that's the old freeloader syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you got a problem, if you got a nicotine problem, bring your own fucking cigarettes, asshole. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Well, that's like we do stuff at my mom's place, and so like all my siblings smoke, and so over the last 6-7 months, I've quit and gone back, and they're actually more than that now, like maybe about a whole year now where I've quit, and then I'd go back to it and quit and go back to it. And then so like when we get together at my mom's place, that would be one of the times I'd go buy a pack of smokes because I know I'd be sitting around them, smoking, and I don't even remember what the point of my story was. Smoking.
Oh no!
Look at Vesta.
Something about smoking. Yeah, I'm a bummer, and I'm high as hell.
A painting of wait a minute, what the hell? A painting in the attic of yourself in the attic that you had done when you were.
She's asking if you're Dorian Gray.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Knows that?
Yeah.
What was that?
Dorian Gray reference. Okay. Oh shit! You gonna shoot her in the head, guys?
Well, let's explain something to Jay real quick. Jay, that story about Dorian Gray, he had a painting, and this is.
I know the story. I know the story. I was just wondering who was referencing it in the chat because I'm sitting here doing
Vesta
something
was
else on my
talking about
computer.
speed. Yeah.
Vesta. Yeah. Anyway, good to see you, Vesta. By the way.
Yeah, it's always great when she comes by.
And all you others out there in chat, thank you. So I'm gonna shoot her in the head, guys.
That's a good idea.
Because I wanna. So what do you think? Y'all wanna? Anybody got anything to say?
Curious.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing except for goodbye, cruel world. That's it.
Hashtag John Maddox is